Hey my friend, welcome back to a new video. If you're hearing this today, maybe it's time to stop seeing yourself through the expectations of others. Maybe you're not here to fit into someone else's plan, but to step fully into your own. I want to share with you today 5 different stories that can help you to shift your perspective a little bit about what is maybe happening in your life as you're transcending the old identity and you're adapting your lifestyle more to what feels the most natural to you. That's why I'm sharing today with you the painting of the phoenix that is so deeply supportive for today's message. So I feel there's something you need to hear today, and let me share something with you. You know, many people are familiar with the story of the snake when it comes to changing the layers or letting go of something old. Like a snake begins to feel uncomfortable in its own skin. It moves restlessly, rubbing against rough surfaces. Eventually the skin peels away, revealing a fresh, vibrant layer beneath. The old skin remains behind, lifeless and empty. When shedding an old identity, my friend, discomfort is natural. The friction of growth is necessary to reveal your true self. Holding onto what no longer fits will only cause stagnation. So, my friend, release what is outdated, even if it once served you. So, this part of the message resonates with me because so many times we find ourselves in a discomfort that doesn't come from challenges. It comes from actually being too much used to the comfort that doesn't provide us the necessary growth anymore. So we need some friction. We need to kind of rub against some edges of what's familiar and do some new things that for such a long time we felt so deeply drawn to, but we've been also procrastinating on it because it is unfamiliar. And for many of you, right at this point of your life, you are in a phase where the new is calling you and the old must be released. There's another story of the phoenix in the fire. A phoenix, sensing the time of renewal, sets itself ablaze. The fire consumes the old body, leaving behind only ashes. But from the embers, a new radiant form emerges, stronger, brighter, and freer than before. How many of you feel like this phoenix? Transformation requires surrender to the fire of change, if I'm a bit poetic with you. The destruction of the old is not a loss, but a rebirth. So do not fear, my friend, the burning away of past versions of yourself. They make room for your higher expression. Sometimes this is a very painful process because we start losing something that was so dear to us. And symbolically, that's how it turns into ashes. Like we used to have something and then it disappeared and all we have are memories. Sometimes when people go through this process, they lose a job or they lose a lot of money, or they lose certain relationships, or suddenly people who were around them don't understand them anymore. Suddenly people start waking up to new aspirations, new passions, new joys, and maybe new interests. And people around them just don't understand them anymore. Like, why are you so much drawn into this if you had such a good life, or something like that, they may say to you. But it's time for something new. And that's when you need to embrace yourself and fully trust that your time has come. And if you sense the need for renewal, for stepping into new, embrace it fully and go forward, even though it may not be clear to you what exactly you should do or how exactly you should behave. You need to believe in yourself and keep touching that part of you, maybe mentally or spiritually, that feels a sense of trust and faith that this is the right thing. Because the reason you're hearing this today is because you're already aligned with that new frequency of that new you. Like the future you would be speaking through me right now to tell you that your time has come and I'm waiting you in this future timeline. It's a life you've been maybe wishing for a long time, dreaming about for a long time. Now it's time to actualize it, to make it happen, and only you can make it happen. Like the story of the sculpture and the stone. A sculpture stands before a massive block of marble. With each strike of the chisel, pieces of the stone fall away. Eventually, a magnificent figure emerges. Not something added, but something revealed by removing the unnecessary. So the wisdom here is that your true self has always been within. You're not building a new identity, my friend, but uncovering what has been buried under expectations, conditioning, and fear. The process of letting go is what shapes you into your most authentic form. So, in this process, we're really not becoming someone new. We are rather releasing someone that is not us. Like, if you pay attention to your life, how many times you are maybe doing something out of expectations from others, like you think you should do it this way because that's what's appropriate, or that's how you will avoid the judgment of others, or out of conditioning, out of how society trained you to be. Remember the wise saying by Charles Bukowski: can you remember who you were before the world told you who you need to be? And how many times you do things out of fear, while actually maybe love would pull you somewhere else, or your heart would pull you somewhere else, or your heart would say to you, do it differently, do it this way. Just reflect on this, because beneath expectations, conditioning, and fear, there is the true self, what people call the authentic self. And the process of letting go is what shapes you into your most authentic form. It's not something that happens mentally. You can notice what feels the most natural to you, and you will see it's not something you needed to think about how to be this you. You don't need to think about how to be authentic. It happens naturally when you stop being unauthentic, when you stop being someone that you're not. And it's only a process of trial that you discover that. So Be patient with yourself. There's another wonderful story that reminds us of being patient and being strong. It's about the butterfly's struggle. You see, a caterpillar waves itself into a cocoon, dissolving entirely into a formless state. In darkness, it reshapes itself. When the time comes, it struggles to break free. If someone cuts the cocoon open to help, the butterfly emerges weak, unable to fly. So the struggle was necessary for its wings to grow strong. You see, sometimes when you find yourself in a struggle, you may wish for help or you may pray for help. Like, please remove these struggles. But struggles are a manifestation of that dream that you had in your mind. Because that dream understands in order for you to manifest it, you need to grow stronger. You need to grow strong wings. And the struggles that you have are not the blocks from life. They're the kind of a training ground for the new life you've been visualizing and praying for. So what you're growing through, I always say to you, you are growing through. You're not just going through something, you're growing through something. It's okay to feel uncomfortable. Like, growth is often just uncomfortable and requires some personal effort. No one can do this work for you. The challenges you face in redefining yourself are what give you strength and clarity. So, my friend, you need to gain trust into this process and into your own ability that you will find the right move, you will find the right idea, and you will be connected with the right person when the time is right. So keep putting in the work, keep putting in the effort, and trust that you are guided through all this process, even when it feels difficult. You see, if you would constantly have someone who is helping you, you would never develop a trust into your own wisdom and muscle for overcoming something that is maybe hard. That's why sometimes when you pray for a solution, rather pray for wisdom, pray for clarity, and pray for strength. Because eventually, with these qualities, you will create a life you've been always prayed for. There's another story that tells us a lot about this. It's about the river that becomes the ocean. You see, a river rushes forward, like we sometimes, right? Carving through mountains and valleys. At times, it crashes against obstacles, redirected but never stopped. Eventually, it reaches the ocean and merges completely. No longer a river, but something vast and boundless. How many of you resonate with this? Sometimes you are crashing against obstacles that redirect you, but never stop you. Sometimes you're mentally attached to where you think you should go, but obstacles redirect you, and then you end up where you are a bit more surprised because you never imagined your life can be so incredible. It happened to so many of us before, right? And we've recognized, well, sometimes having faith in the process is more important than attachment on goals, how our lives should be. You see, even your life, your identity, and your process of transformation, it's all like rivers. They serve a purpose for a time but are never permanent. As you evolve, your identity must expand. Your beliefs must be shattered, and new ones will arise that will be more empowering and helpful. Maybe you used to believe that you are powerless and that you are not strong and capable. And because life is redirecting you and you've been exposed to some kind of struggles and hardship, you now have a new belief that says, I believe in myself, because in the past I needed to grow through this. I needed to find strength in myself. I needed to find resilience and perseverance. And I made it, so I know it's there. So now I have a belief in myself. Doesn't matter what happens in my life. Now I know that I got this. So what I'm asking you right now, my friend, let go of rigid definitions and allow yourself to flow into something greater that you imagined. Your mind wants to be occupied, and it's completely okay. But usually our minds are occupied with our past, and it brings to us emotions from the past, and suddenly we think and feel out of the past. If we rather occupy our minds with our future, the one that we are creating in this present moment, then emotions will arise from that future. And if the vision for the future is something that inspires you, something that motivates you, something that kind of puts some wood onto that fire of your spirit, you will feel inspired. So, of course, live your life more in the present moment, but also dream and have that strong vision for where you're going. And when your mind dwells back into the past, redirect it into the future, and you will feel differently. You will notice your past maybe put a lot of weights onto your shoulders, so your head is turned towards the ground and you're feeling a bit heavy. But when you turn towards the future, the weights will fall off, because you will notice there's a bright future in front of you and you're the creator of it. So keep walking towards it. Keep knowing that life is not stopping you, it's redirecting you sometimes. Struggles are okay because they are strengthening your wings. And you're not really becoming someone new by changing yourself. You're just removing the old, outdated versions of you, so the new you, the real you, can arise. And losing what was so dear to you is a part of this process. Let it turn into ashes, because only from the ashes something even better will arise. So shed that old skin, rub it against some rough surfaces, which means do some hard work. Go to places where you feel maybe a bit scared, but you know that they hide for you something meaningful, and maybe there's a breakthrough there. Even though you may be a bit anxious about it, a bit scared about it, that's how you shed the old skin and get introduced to who you truly are. So my friend, I hope you found a great value in today's message, and I hope you've enjoyed in this story of the phoenix, the painting that symbolizes this process. To anyone who would like to get a print of this painting, you can go into AttractPassion.com and type into the search the phoenix. There are 2 phoenixes I've painted, and both of them are very interesting. So check them out and see which one resonates with you, or check any of other painting that maybe speaks to you in a very deep way. If it does, it has something to give you. Each painting is very unique and has its own powerful energy, so check it out and read the description that has a story of it. With buying my art, you're also supporting this mission, which is something I truly appreciate. And also big thanks to anyone for joining our Patreon community for more exclusive content. See you there, and till next time, one love.